Here's a really good one, and I like this one. In our day and time, do you see hymns as an important part of worship, and why?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Hymns, you know, today I was thinking about this. It's been a while back, but today, hymns, they stood the test of time because, first of all, they were written down, and you have a physical book. And today we don't make hymnals anymore, or books that have music and sheet music, and so hymns have stood the test of time. First of all, because I believe God blessed the hymn writers that wrote those, and He gave them songs for the church. It was centered on the church and centered on lifting up God and singing together. And so hymns, there's a lot of great hymns out there that have great biblical truth and that are easy to sing along with because they were intended for the congregation. And so, yeah, hymns are very important. And also, a lot of you probably, well, I hope that your church is multi-generational because that's important. We need the 80-year-old over here, but we also need the 2-year-old over here in our church. And we all learn from each other. And so, you may have the young teenagers like the modern worship, may like it. You may have a older person that loves modern worship as well, but you may have a person who loves hymns, but you need to teach. You just got to teach all of these songs to your congregation and know what speaks to them. Know how, again, a lot of your older congregation loves the hymns. Well, do those hymns, not just to please them, but they were used to that. That's what they grew up singing. But you also have a younger crowd. They need to hear the hymns. They need to hear these songs that have stood the test, but they also want to sing what's today because every generation has songs of the church. And each it's funny, style is the dividing line in a lot of places. It's the style. Well, and style has nothing to do with biblical truth or anything, or even so yeah, I think hymns are very important. I like hymns.
Yeah,
I love them.
I love hymns.
Love 'em.
One of our most popular songs we go and play somewhere is our Brazilian version of Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. But us in the car, we're rocking out to Christian radio.
Yeah.
I mean, to Christian rock is what we're rocking out to.
Yeah.
And so Christian radio is not rock, it's pop. Sorry. We're rocking out to Christian rock. But then we listen to radio and other stuff. And I think I had someone ask me one time, and they were like, "Joe, what's your opinion on?" Because they came to me and they're like, "I can only worship this kind of way of music."
Mm.
And I looked at them and I said, "Well, I think you got a problem."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, why is that?" And I said, "Because I said I don't really sympathize with you."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Because," and you can relate to this having gone to Brazil. I said, "I went to a culture I didn't understand. I didn't speak.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't sing their songs. I didn't understand their style of worship. And I learned didn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
I learned to worship the way those people did and taught me.
Yes.
And in turn, what happened is I learned a form of worship that I didn't even know existed. Mm-hmm. And to me, changed my life.
Yeah.
And so I said, for me to sit here and for you to say, I can only worship God this way, it sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah.
And there's something wrong with our hearts.
Yeah, it's all about, that's true. It's all about the heart because, style is something that changes. I mean, it's going to continue to change. But like God's word, does it change? And that's what you're supposed to be singing. And so yeah, it's really a heart thing. And that goes for like a young person. If you can't worship to a hymn, you have an issue too. I mean, or you know what I mean? Because, it's too old. Well, no. I mean, what are the lyrics saying? We're here to worship God, not here to worship our preference. And so it's just like, but as a worship leader, I think our job is to teach them what worship means, but also as far as style goes, though it has nothing to do, I mean, it's just style is a preference. I think we need to have different styles. We shouldn't always have the same style of worship, because we're not all the same in the church. We're all a different age or come from a different background or this and that. So I think musical style needs to be diverse and can change, and that just depends on your church and how you know your congregation. It's just about knowing your congregation well. So
I think that's so true. I think we hit on everything. Is what you said is solid, because it's a preference, and if we get lost in the nitpicky things of life, then we've already missed the important part of what was that song trying to teach me about God's Word? Because obviously I wasn't listening.
Because we got hung up, man, I hate this style or whatever.
We missed, and it's not anything, it's not bad on anybody else, but I missed out on something when I do that. Mm-hmm. Maybe what God was trying to tell me. Right. And like you said, it's just it's a preference. It's not a biblical command.